The Denver Broncos have made a massive mistake. Welcome to Broncos Syndicate After Dark. But before we jump in, guys, I want to tell you about the affiliate partner for today's video, Whitebeard Signworks. Use code BS30, link in the description below to save $30 off your first purchase on NFL LED team logo signs just like this really cool sign behind me. Thank you so much to Whitebeard Signworks, and now back to your regularly scheduled video. The Denver Broncos may have made a big-time blunder by cutting Tim Patrick ahead of the season starting. Patrick had a really strong training camp in preseason, and right now the Broncos are looking for somebody to step up in that wide receiver room. Little Jordan Humphrey has been a massive disappointment over these last couple of weeks. He has turned into a bit of a liability for this offense. We've seen him now be responsible for 2 turnovers. We saw him responsible for that really bad drop in the game today against the Baltimore Ravens. And then last week, we saw him responsible for a fumble on the opening drive. Both of them resulted in opening drive turnovers. And ultimately, little Jordan Humphrey is starting to become a player that the Denver Broncos might need to think about moving on from. And Humphrey basically fills a similar role to what Tim Patrick would have filled on this offense. Patrick, after getting cut by the Broncos, signed with the Detroit Lions practice squad. He was ultimately promoted to their active roster, and he has been Mr. Reliable for the Detroit Lions, just like he was here in Denver. He makes massive third down catches for them. He blocks his tail off. He has been a player that the Denver Broncos have sorely missed, not to mention the leadership and all of that he brought to the locker room. One of the longest tenured Denver Broncos before he was moved on from. The Broncos made a massive mistake. I said the same thing back in the offseason or back early when the Broncos cut Tim Patrick, and I'm going to say the same thing now, man. The Broncos made a mistake. Tim Patrick continues to bring that reliability to your offense that the Denver Broncos desperately need. Tim Patrick is probably not going to give you an explosive play very often, but he's going to be Mr. Reliable for you. He's going to have those secure hands on third down. He's going to have those secure hands on the opening drive when you're trying to get into a rhythm offensively. I'm sorry, but Tim Patrick would not have dropped that ball that little Jordan Humphrey dropped today that resulted in an interception for Bo Nix. He wouldn't have. I've seen people say that it was time to move on and time to let the young guys flourish, but to this point, we haven't really seen many of the young guys step up outside of Devon Vele, and in fairness, Vele did play a factor as well in the Broncos moving on from Tim Patrick, but having Patrick certainly would have benefited this team a lot more than not having Patrick at this point. So the Denver Broncos made a big mistake moving on from Tim Patrick. All right, Broncos country, let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think that the Denver Broncos made a mistake by moving on from Tim Patrick? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.